Thanks, Max. All right, so my name's Thibault. I'm a French coder. Been coding for some time. And 8 years ago, I was working as a web developer in a French agency, making websites and experimenting with various technologies. 8 years ago, Ajax was all the rage. We could make requests to a server without reloading the page. And so I wanted to try stuff with that, And I was like, what can I build that could have some real-time features? And I just made a chessboard because it's easy. And I got a chessboard on a browser that was communicating and updating in real time with another browser. And I was happy. And I pushed it online, made it open source, and I moved on to the next project. But someday I noticed that someone was actually playing chess on this very simple, very silly website. I was like, what the hell? There was requests in the Apache logs. So I added a chat on the page in order to communicate with this user. And there was a user indeed. And I did the chat, and the guy started to yell at me because it was full of bugs. I wasn't even validating that the moves were legal. So yeah, I fixed the bugs. He asked for features, so I added features and bugs. And a few more players arrived, and some offered to help, and it became leadchess.org. It's been growing quite a bit in the last few years. Nowadays, there are like 20 persons in the team. We meet each other every day in a Slack room. We got 2 million registered users. The page views per day metric, I don't know if it's true anymore because we removed Google Analytics a few weeks ago. It's made by, I learned it was made by an advertising company, so we had to remove it. Yeah, there's something, if I can show it, maybe. Here it is. That's not easy. All right, chess. Chess is a slow game. It's about thinking for a while on moves, right? So this is a replay, real-time replay of a game that happened recently. The point I want to make is that online chess is a very different beast. It's become like a real-time shooter. It's about mouse skills. It's about predicting the opponent's moves. This is real-time. I mean, I don't know how they do that. I can't do that. They are playing with 15 seconds each on their clock, so it's a 30-second game. There are tournaments of that. There are people playing that for hours without a break. I don't know how they do that, but they do it. And every move they play is saved on the database and broadcasted to the other players. So that makes quite a bit of server activity. Is it done yet? Come on, just checkmate him already. All right. Up she goes, and checkmate. There we go. That was not intended. Whoa. There we go. Some numbers. They play up to 1,000 moves per second. They play 1 million games per day. All of them are saved. Each move is saved, and a lot of metadata. And today we have 1 billion chess position indexed in the Opening Explorer, and a bit more than 400 million games in the database. The backend is written in Scala. It's like Haskell, but worse, honestly. But it runs on the JVM, which is a good thing in my opinion. We have like 10 critical servers, plus a lot of artificial intelligence servers playing chess. Data is stored in MongoDB. We can search with Elasticsearch. We use Kyoto Cabinet for the Opening Explorer. And the front end is in TypeScript with virtual DOM library, SnapDOM. I'm a big believer of functional programming as in immutability, referential transparency, and static typing. What makes us different, it's not the technology or the numbers, is the fact that we have a commercial value of $0. It's quite a UFO in the online chess world because the top 10 chess websites are all owned by companies. who have to turn a profit because they have investors, and they rely on paid features and/or advertisement. We don't, because as I explained, it started as a programming project, so there was no will to make money out of it, and I never felt the need for it. Also, in my opinion, it's not fun, it's too serious, and I'm not a serious person. So I'm going to talk about what's a free service. Then I'll discuss about the specifics of the online chess communities. And then maybe, if we have time, I'll give a few tips about how to create an online community and make maybe even a free service. So free service has, in my opinion, to be built on free software. It's not required, but in my opinion, it's a solid ground. It's awesome to contribute to free software ecosystem. Everything we write, all the code we have running is open source, usually under the GPL v3 license. It allows a lot of other chess websites to get started with components that we already built. For example, the Agon company, which broadcasted the recent World Chess Championship, used our chessboard open source code to broadcast the games on their website. Another commercial website uses our Stockfish chess engine integration to the browser. And a lot of people are just writing side projects, just like I was 8 years ago about chess, and we're using our code, and that makes me very happy. Also, of course, we get a lot of code reviews on GitHub all the time, and even some code contributions. So what about security? Because we are running a service, running online, it's a gaming service, subject to quite a lot of attack. And all the code is available for everyone to search vulnerabilities in. In my opinion, it's a strength because I want the vulnerabilities to be discovered early, to be used early against us, so we can fix them early, which is just after I wrote the faulty code, I want it to be exploited, not like 2 years later when I don't remember what was the code about in the first place, right? For instance, there was a guy a few months ago, he discovered in my code that I was using unsecure Java random generation, and he wrote some code using the GPU that was able to crack the random token, and he was able to log in other people's games, and he started to abort and resign the games of grandmasters, and that was terrible. But he did it right after I introduced the vulnerability, and the guy was nice enough to publish on GitHub the code, his code to crack the random tokens, so we could fix it quite quickly. So on top of free software, we want to apply these rules to a free service, which means running the software to serve the people, and that for free as well. Free doesn't mean much anymore, like most chess servers today pretend to be free. They're not. They're freemium, which means they're going to bait users with a free subset. They're like, register, it's free, and then you can do some stuff for free, and soon enough, the paywall rises. Also, if you go on the Android App Store and you check out the free chess applications, you'll see that they, in fact, contain ads and in-app purchases, which is the nice word for paywall. I would like the Android App Stores to also mention when the app does not contain ads and does not contain a paywall, like it's the case for the Lichess mobile app. Sadly, they don't. In my opinion, a free service cannot have any purchase, no paywall, or every feature should be free for everyone forever. There should be no advertisement, and there should be no selling the user data to advertising company or others. It's about serving people, not using people for serving a company interest, right? I'm not saying that every service on the internet should be free. I'm not saying every service should work like that. I mean, I want to say that it can work like that. It's not an impossibility. And it's not because very few of them work like that it's impossible. We see Wikipedia, we see DuckDuckGo, we see Travis CI. There's a lot of successful examples of free services. So how do we do that? Well, we have to leverage the community power. We get people to write translations. That's easy. Everyone can write translations from English to their language if you can speak English. We get people to write chess content, lessons and stuff. We get people to do the moderation job. We can leverage free labor and know it's acceptable. Isn't that awesome? For that, we have to reassure people and let them know that the service is always going to be free. There's never going to be advertisement. It's always going to be open source. You have to be transparent, like we publish the costs so they know where their work goes to and where their donations goes to. And if you do that, people are just going to help and do all the job, really. A good example for that is Fishnet. On eChess, we provide computer analysis for your games. After you play a game, you can get a computer to analyze the game. It will go over all your moves and tell you, that move sucks, this was bad, you should have played this instead, and that. That's very useful to learn chess. Thing is, it's very expensive in computation. It takes about 5 minutes of CPU power to decently analyze a game of chess. And since we let everyone request computer analysis for free, it demands a ton of computer power. So someone last year, a contributor, wrote Fishnet, which is a bit of a Python script, which works like SETI at home, if you know that. It will distribute the computation. Everyone can install Fishnet on their computer and then receive analysis requests from lichess, have their CPU work a lot, get the computer to warm up the place, and send the analysis back to lichess. So, and people will just ask me to give them keys for Fishnet, and they will start running Fishnet. We have more than 300 CPUs working on Fishnet right now, and we're not paying for them. Of course, the critical servers, we want to pay for them, naturally. So that's going to cost some money that we get through donation. We're not going to bug people about donations like Wikipedia does, for instance, because we don't need to. We just have one hidden donation page, and somehow people still find about it and still donate enough money for us to pay for the server. Another alternative that I would like to try is the free price, which is the service you're using has a price, but you are free to decide how much it's worth for you. I think that could be a very alternative to actual traditional paid services where you want people to pay for your service, but can you really ask a single price for everyone on the planet? I mean, not everyone can pay the same price. It doesn't make sense. And I think people should be able to decide what a service is worth to them. The downside of running a free service is, well, people won't believe you. You say, hey, it's free, we won't sell your data, there will be no ads. People, they just won't have it, you know. It's too fishy, and I can't blame them. They should be suspicious about it. Also, the market says that value equals price, so it's hard to convey a feeling of quality when everything is free. And we can't make people feel special by giving them premium access, because everyone is premium, therefore no one is. And finally, we can't, and that's sad, actually, we can't pay chess professionals. However, some chess professionals do get paid not to play only chess by competitors. So there's that. There are competitor websites. They're ready to pay professional players not to play only chess. They want them playing on their websites only. There will be no name given. There are some advantages to running a free service. First of all, you get free access to a lot of other services you need. We are not paying for GitHub. We are not paying, I have the list. We are not paying for Slack. We are not paying for Crowdin. We are not paying for Prismic, Gandhi, or BrowserStack. A lot of services that are absolutely required and sometimes very expensive. They just give us open source and non-profit plans. So if you don't make money, actually, you don't have to make money. That's the good thing. Also, we have no customers. I'm not a big fan of dealing with customers. I'd rather deal with people who don't pay a cent, because it's much more convenient to say no. And when I mess up, they can be angry, but I don't care. So. Also, the team is fantastic. I've been working in quite a few companies and startups, and I had a great time with these people. But I always observed, like, there are some tensions emerging and some gossip, and eventually people get angry. And As far as I know, it happens in every company. There's none of that in the Lichess team. I don't know exactly why, but we're having none of that. Maybe it's because everyone is volunteering, so we have no expectation on the work people are going to do. If they want to slack off, that's okay. Also, they don't have to come, the team members, they don't have to come, they don't need to come in order to earn a living. So everyone who is coming in the team Slack is coming because they want to. And therefore, we only have happy people, and there's no tension whatsoever in the team. I've never seen that in any team before. And finally, running a free service just feels awesome. I mean, get a sense of purpose. The community is fantastic. We get a lot of praise, so just feels good. The online chess community. There are some specificities to it, but I think some of the things I'm going to say can apply to other online communities, or maybe only online gaming communities. Chess is a gentleman game, right? Whoops. Chess players are civilized and reasonable. Every moderator is going to disagree with this statement. And to be honest, I mean, it's generally very, very true, and 99% of the players are very nice and helpful people, but there's the 1%. And chess is a fight, and egos are going to get bruised, and bad stuff is going to happen. People are going to call each other names, they're going to cheat, and they're going to accuse other people of cheating. When people are rude, it's quite easy to deal with. We give them a warning. They keep being rude, and then we shadow ban them. Shadow banning, it's a very, very interesting tool. We are not muting them. We are not closing the account because they will notice and make a new account and start all over again. When you shadow ban someone, they can still talk to people, write in the chats, write private messages and forums and teams and everything. But no one's going to see it. Except other shadow banned players. So they don't know, they don't realize, because they keep answering to each other. And they are swimming graciously in the dark Lichess, as we call it. And they're having a really good time, and nobody has to deal with that shit. Don't tell them. All right, this is the real issue, actually. Cheat. Computers, they're better than us at playing chess. They've been for a while, and the smartphone in your pocket can beat the chess champion with one hand, if that makes sense. It's increasingly hard to distinguish people from computers. It's particularly hard to do it over internet and with a set of quite simple rules, such as the chess rules, right? If someone disagrees with that, I dare them to build a chess website where you can bet money. That's not going to work. People have this idea all the time, and they fail all the time because it just attracts cheaters like nothing else. How do people cheat? Well, most of them are quite silly, to be honest. And they're just going to have a chess engine on their computer or on the mobile application. And while they play a human, they will play the same game with the computer. They're going to copy-paste the moves from one device to the other. Some are a bit smarter and are going to automate the process and write some code so that the machine can play automatically the moves in the browser. And some are going to make some money with it and sell chess bots that can cheat online on various websites. And people pay for it. I swear. And we have to deal with it. Why do they cheat? I don't know. I don't know. Does someone cheat at chess in here? Maybe you can tell us. No, just kidding, don't say it. I don't know. I think the average player, I mean, they think it's okay. They think they have the idea that, I think, they're like, hey, I'm going to use a chess engine and pretend it's me and take the credit for the win. And nobody thought of that before. I mean, I must be the first one to have this great idea. And what difference is it going to make? They don't realize how bad it is for the chess community at the end of the day. So we have several layers of detection for cheating. We record the move times of every move. This can be a great teller if someone is consulting a chess engine, or if they are playing fast for the obvious moves, probably they didn't consult a chess engine. When you see a white square, it also means they switched the window. There was a blue event on the browser, which means they probably run a chess engine on the same computer. We are going to use the analysis that are provided by the community through Fishnet to compare the moves that were played with the computer moves. Can be a great tell. We have someone working on a neural network feeding on everything that's going on lichess and trying to determine who is being nice and who is being naughty. We detect analysis in other browser tabs. I have to write custom code for every chess bot that people write, and it can go back and forth. I mean, I write a detection, they write a counter detection, I write a counter detection, and it goes on and on and on until they are bored because I cannot give up. And I can't. And it requires a lot of mod work. We have like 20 mods working every day to process the automated reports. Yes, please?
Do you shadow ban cheaters as well so that they only play against other cheaters?
Yeah, we tried that, but it's hard because they notice it very quickly. There's not enough cheaters to player ratio. They notice that it takes longer to get a game than before. And yeah, we also try to make them play chess engines, but they eventually recognize it as well, and it's not as easy. Yeah. But they do not do that they are marked. They don't know that they are marked as cheaters. The mark is visible to everyone but them, and they can still play unrated games. And I mean, there are some things, but it's not as good as shadow banning. Yeah. So we ban them, and then we get fancy emails. They're going to accuse brothers and sisters and sons and daughters and aunts and whatnot. Some are going to threaten either the website, they threaten DDoS or stuff, and sometimes they threaten the moderators personally. It can go quite far and be quite nasty. Some are going to pretend that they are actually grandmasters and send us forged ID documents. And we get a lot of them. It's incredible. Some are pretty good. Some are pretty good, I would say. And eventually, they will just get back and make a new account. So we had to require an email for the registration. And so they start using disposable emails. And so we have to detect disposable emails and keep a blacklist up to date. It's on GitHub if you need it. We have to detect proxy. Then we had to detect Tor. And we even had to fingerprint the user's browsers and operating systems after a while, so that we can recognize recidivism even when they change IPs. I'm thinking about, I don't know, maybe I'll do that, but make them sign some document stating that they will not cheat or do anything nasty. Maybe it will help prevent such behaviors. I don't know yet. I still have to try that. The worst thing about cheating, because I will say it's quite well handled on lichess. It's very rare to face a cheater, and even if you do, they are going to be catched quite quickly, and you will get your rating points back if you care about it at all. The problem is the climate of insecurity it creates. When you lose a game, you have the choice of blaming yourself because you played bad, or maybe, I mean, there's the possibility that maybe the other player was not fair and you got cheated. And a lot of people are going to resort to that because I think it's just in human nature, not to blame self. It's going to result in endless conversations, public accusation, cheat gossip. I mean, you can release fantastic new features one day. If the same day there is a cheat gossip about one high-rated player or something, the feature is going to be completely forgotten. Everyone is going to focus on the cheat gossip. It fascinates chess players. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know how to fight that, really. One way to fight it is to let players report each other privately to the moderators. Sometimes we get good reports about actual cheaters, but most of the time it's useful because they need to vent. They need to let off the steam if they think they've been cheated. If you don't let them make private reports, they're going to do it publicly in the forum, and that's the worst thing. I still love the community. they're great. I'm ranting a lot. I know. I do love them. They built Lichess. I didn't. I just started it. But the online chess community built Lichess. They're fantastic, guys. I love you. That's it. So, hey, I'm early. That's good. So maybe I made you want to try your luck at making an online gaming community, maybe even a free service. So let's see if I can give you a piece of advice about doing that. Yes?
Do you live by could you use the microphone for questions, please?
Oh, no, we're not at questions yet. Sorry.
Yes, I know, but it's just...
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Excuse me.
Later. I will ask later.
All right. Start with writing the code. If you want to start a new service, if you want to start a new community, start by writing the code. A lot of people have ideas. That's great. But ideas, I mean, they're worth nothing. Everyone has ideas. And what matters, of course, it's the execution of the idea. So even if a developer will not be sufficient to write a successful game or service, it has to start, in my opinion, with a developer. So write the damn code, open source it very early, and do not expect any help before you have something actually working. Even if it's really bad, like mine was, it had the merit of being online. And no one is going to do the first steps for you. Second thing I wanted to point out is that features are the enemy. People, they want features. Features are awesome. They're going to be very enthusiastic. You will hear, hey, if you add this feature, your service is going to be incredibly popular. It's going to be fantastic. I heard that like so many times. And I built so many features. And okay, it became fantastic and popular. But it was not because of the feature that they actually wanted, right? Building a feature is a lot of fun. I love coding. Everyone who loves coding loves adding features. People will even offer to write the features themselves. They will write the code for the features. There's no problem at all for that. That's easy. That's cool. Maintaining the feature is very hard. Removing the feature is outright impossible. It's going to be a drama when you want to remove the feature. And at some point, you have to remove the feature, or at least relocate it, you know. And sometimes features, they just, you can't keep on adding them forever. You know what I mean? And you can't remove it. People will just scream, and I hate you for this. So my point is, think really hard before adding any new feature. It's cool to add, but then the troubles begin. Yes. People on the internet, they're going to weaponize everything you do. Every feature is going to be used against you, against the website, and against the other users. Even the most innocuous features, such as offering a draw in the game. In a game of chess, you can offer the opponent a draw and say, hey, let's call the game a draw, nobody's going to win this, right? People are just going to spam the draw offer in an attempt to just annoy the other player. That's just a silly example, but every feature is going to be misused. And at the beginning, I was quite naive. I didn't know about that, and a lot of bad things happened. And now I start thinking like a criminal, and in every feature people want to add, I'm immediately seeing how to use it badly. I'm becoming a very, very bad person. It's required. And you have to limit everything as well, because people, anything that can be done, someone will do it. I've seen people try to import games with tens of thousands of moves. Why? I mean, and then they will request a computer analysis on it. Come on. I've seen people request computer analysis in an automated manner. They had a corpus of thousands of chess games, and they would automate importing the games on the chess and requesting computer analysis. because it's just convenient, you know. Every feature has to be limited and thought about as a weapon, because it's going to happen. And that's it. I wish you to have a lot of fun. Coding is about having fun, especially if you do open source coding. And I wish you to have a community to emerge around this project. Because when you see people working together for a free service, for the greater good, then it feels great. And that is it. Thank you. Yes, questions, please.
Yes. As a free service, do you finance your own life and the lives of some of your contributors with this?
And sorry, the second part?
The contributors. I mean, do you finance your life with it? It's the one question. And you said you have a team of people working with you. Do they get paid in any way?
Nope. Free labor for the win. They're all volunteers, and I will soon receive a salary, French, quite modest salary, for what I'm doing. Because at this point, I mean, I've been working in startups and working on Lichess on my free time. And nowadays, we want that I work on Lichess all the time. And we get enough donations to pay a French salary. So we built a French non-profit association in order to hire me as a developer. That will be the start. And then maybe later, if someone steps in and wants to handle the complexity of hiring more people, then we will totally consider it. I just don't want to deal with that personally. Everything that happens on Lichess happens because someone stepped in and offered to do it. So when someone steps in and offers to do the terrible French paperwork required to hire people, then we will do it.
Great talk. Thanks for coming and thanks for making this possible. One part of the features I really like at Lichess is the growing feature set around improving the play and the game of the players, like having AI and statistic analysis about your games and giving tips how to improve your game. And with this computer analysis, can you outline some plans that you have for the future in this area of features?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks. Nope. I have no plans at all. I don't make plans for the future. Everything that happened was unexpected. I have no midterm and no long-term plans. It's day by day. Someone comes and say, hey, here's a great idea, let's do that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe later. And maybe 3-4 months later, I'm browsing the GitHub issues. And I see this, and I'm like, that's a great idea. And I feel like doing it today. And I do it today. And that's how it happens. So if you want to get a taste for what might happen in the future, check out the GitHub issues. And some of them might happen. I don't know. Yes.
So you started off doing Lichess on your own, and now you say you have a team of about 20 developers. How did that come about? Was it hard to get the first people joining in? Can you share some experiences here?
Yes, first of all, it's not a team of 20 developers. I should have mentioned that. There are a few developers. People come and go. People have several hats, so it's hard to say how many exactly. Like there are two or three developers working on the mobile application, and on the main website, maybe 3 or 4 developers. There's someone doing a lot of sysadmin work. For instance, there's a lot of moderators. There are just chess professionals, people that I use, people that have the vision, because I'm a chess amateur, but I never earned a living with chess, and it's not exactly my main passion. It's programming. So there are people who have the vision. There are people who go to chess events and transmit the chess event to Lichess. A lot of different people in the team. It's not only a technical team. And I don't know. I don't think I'm particularly good at managing people. I think I'm pretty terrible, actually. It just happens organically. People are just being very nice in the community for a while. So when we need some more moderator strength, we invite them to join the moderator team with restricted rights at first. And if they do well, they get more rights, and they do even better, and then they join the core team where all the decisions are made. So it happens very, very organically. And yeah, no, it's very easy. Just works.
So behind the scenes, you use Stockfish, right?
Yes.
And you have quite a huge database of games. Are there any ideas of feeding the games that you have back to the Stockfish team?
Feeding the games to the Stockfish team? Do you think they will?
Yeah, so they can maybe use it or analyze it to improve their game engine?
Oh, well, if they ask, I will certainly do it. We get a lot of requests to release the entire database. I will totally do it. I still have to do it because our database, it's not a PGN, it's not standard format. It's a very specialized binary format because we need to compress stuff a lot because we want to be very cheap. We want cheap servers. We don't want to pay for Amazon and a lot of storage. We want cheap servers, cheap storage, cheap everything, so we don't have to make a lot of money. And therefore, the formats are quite unreadable. So I still have to write a script to convert this very silly format into something actually usable for other people. And I will do it. I don't know if it will help. I mean, if we can help the Stockfish team in any way, then yes, I absolutely want to do it, yeah.
So you also said that you have kind of professional chess players because I mean somewhere on the platform there's people that have a performance like Fiona, I don't know her last name, and you said that there were professional chess players which are paid for not playing there. So what would be the incentive for a professional chess player to actually play on Lead Chess, because there are some who do. So.
Well, I mean, what's the incentive for playing on the best chess server on the internet? No, no, they will. I mean, there are other chess servers that are really good on the internet, and they can do their pretty much everything they will want to do. They will come for the unique features we have, such as chess variants, for instance. We implemented some chess variants that are unique to the chess so far. And we also implemented them inside the Stockfish engine, so we can have analysis for them. So they will come for that if they can't have it on another website. We had some world-class players that I cannot name who came on the site and are playing nowadays on the website because of the ultra bullet kind of play that I showed you recently. The 15-second games are a thing on Lead Chess. They are not a thing elsewhere. And so they will come for that because it's a lot of fun. So, but I don't know why they come. But most of the time when they come, you don't know it. They don't come under their real name because they have contracts with other websites. So we can't brag about it. That's too bad.
Perhaps split the earning?
Split
the earning of not playing on Lead Chess with them? Are there more questions?
I don't actually play on Lead Chess, so I don't know. Are you using a sort of matching algorithm to, like, how do players find new games?
Yes, there are a number of ways. Of course, you can invite a friend. There is a lobby where people can create SIGs and see other people SIGs and manually join them. It's quite boring. There is auto pairing, and there are tournament pairings as well. The most interesting one is the auto pairing pool, I think. Here, people will choose a time control. There's a choice of only 8 time controls, such as 5 plus 0. And it's going to pair people by waves using a blossom tree algorithm that some guy who is much smarter than me wrote for me. I have no idea how it works, honestly. But it's going to find the best possible pairing. Say, at this time, there are 50 people waiting in the pool. It's going to find the absolute best combinations of pairs of people so that their rating is the closer, absolute closer.
I'm asking because I've seen in other online games that when you're shadow banned, you also end up playing with other people who are shadow banned right now. And so it would not really be an option for you to just create a new account because you sort of have like an internal trust rank. And if you cheat or insult other players, like your trust is being reduced, which means that you're only matched with other people who are on that trust level, and just takes a certain amount of time to build up the trust again. So therefore, it's not possible to solve the problem by just creating a new account because you would have to work a couple of weeks or months to get to that level of trust again. Is that something that you've implemented, or is that?
We have that rating-wise only. We use the Glyco 2 rating system, which has a provisional system. The 21st games you're going to play, we don't really know your rating, right? So your rating is provisional. But apart from that, we don't have such trust system. Honestly, I think it's not very fair to new players to distrust everyone by default like that. We like to trust people, and if they are not to be trusted, then they're just restricted in what they can do. But yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Isn't it the same with the skill level? I mean, if I sign up and I have not played any games yet, like how do, but imagine I would be a really awesome player. How would I be matched with other players of that skill? You can't, because I haven't played any games yet. That's pretty much the same idea.
Yeah, exactly. The first couple of games, if you're a great player, you're going to be matched with likely very average players. However, since you have a provisional rating, the rating deviation you have will allow you to gain a lot of rating points at the very beginning, because we don't know what your rating is. If you win against someone the same strength, you're not going to win 15 points, but 300. And therefore, if you're a great player, you're going to win your first 3 games and get very close to your real rating.
But then you don't give any punishments to the rating if someone commits like cheat or something.
They can't play rated games anymore.
Okay,
and other people cannot see their ratings anymore. They can still see their ratings, but other people cannot see their ratings anymore, and they can't play rated.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, and they can accept rated 6 from other cheaters. And there will be auto-paired in the auto-pairing pools. The cheaters are paired together. And even though they were supposed to play a rated game, in fact, it's going to be a casual game between cheaters.
Any questions?
Why keep the old games? You're using them to optimize the rating or the shadow banning algorithm, or why do you keep the game history?
Oh, just because we don't delete anything. I mean, who knows what we're going to do with that? I mean, yeah, I should really, I really want to, and next week I will work on exporting this treasure of all these games so people can start building very smart stuff like that and maybe share the results. Yeah, we'll totally do that.
I think that's a good last sentence, isn't it? Let's thank the speaker if there's no more questions.